In a previous video, we looked at a website, befunky.com, and that was used to process or to create channel art for our YouTube channel. Now, today we're going to look at something called Canva. It's simply another option. You can use them, you can use one or the other. You can use them in conjunction. You can say, well, I like befunky to kind of get the size and placement of the image, but there's things in Canva I like as far as effects. So you can work between these programs or any other image editing program that you have access to. So it may be something you've purchased, it may be something that came as default on your computer, it may be another website. These can be free or paid. Obviously, whatever you're comfortable with, it doesn't have to be the process I'm demonstrating. But what it should include is the concepts, such as getting that image, making that image the correct size, and getting the portion of the image that's most valuable in the correct space so that this image works well on multiple devices, because it'll display differently on a phone, a tablet, a desktop, depending on what the monitor resolution is, or a larger device like a TV. So it's all going to be different. You just want to get the concepts down and then use whatever tool you want. So let's head out to canva.com. You want to establish an account here. I'm simply going to log in because I already have an account, but establish your account. It's free. And I've just logged in. Now Canva follows a similar model to befunky or a lot of other websites. It provides some free services and then some upgraded services that you pay for. Canva's a little different in that you may purchase the graphics. Okay, so you can do all your design work here, but if you're looking for graphics of a particular type, then Canva will provide them for you for a small cost. Very often it's $1 per image. So if I went out and I got 2 or 3 images and made a beautiful piece of channel art, it might cost me $3. And it's totally up to you. It also allows you to upload images. So you can bring in your own images. So if you went out on the internet, you use the procedures that we outlined in a previous video where you found some work that was copyright free, where you weren't infringing on copyright, you could bring that right in here and do your work. Okay, when you first arrive in Canva, it's going to give you some design choices here. You could use custom dimensions. See, it's right here, it gives me this nice channel art. So it's familiar with a lot of common dimensions of different things, whether they be YouTube channel art or whether it be something for Instagram or whatever. They're all here. If you don't see this for some reason, if you don't see the channel art up here, which is very possible, just go to More, and it's going to give you all of these options down here, and then you'll certainly find it. You can also use custom dimensions, so you could put the width and height in here. That would be another way to go. But in any case, you want this 2560 width and 1440 pixel height. So when you click there, it's going to bring you into your channel art, or rather your channel art template. Now, I can scroll in or out depending on what I need, to get this size I want to view it at, but it will remain that 2560 by 1440 dimension. Now Canva offers you some free or paid layouts to begin with, which are very nice, but in channel art, really I'm not going to use them. For some other things I might, but for channel art I'm going to go directly to uploads, and you can see that I've uploaded a series of things over time. To upload an image, such as an image you acquired for this purpose, you simply go to Upload Image, you browse to the image that you want. So this is my channel art 1, 2, and 3. You can see I've already uploaded channel art 3. We're going to play with that one today, and you simply open it up. So at this point, I'm going to open up the channel art that I want to use. This channel art is actually, the image itself is larger than this section. We looked at this in the last video. This is channel art 3, so let me take a look at it from my computer, because this is going to allow me to go to the properties, go to details, and you can see it's over 3,000 pixels wide and 2,000 pixels tall, which is larger than the canvas size, but when it first comes in, that's not how it's represented. So what you can do is simply drag it out to cover the space, and there we go. Then I can move it around, and I want to make sure that all the white space is covered, but you can position it as you like within that constraint. And notice the difference between this and Be Funky. In Be Funky, if I stretched out a picture, it would cover over the edges of my canvas. So I had to be careful about that. In this case, the canvas size still remains visible. And the additional section of the picture, the part of the picture that's too large for the canvas, is hidden. So that is a handy feature. Okay, next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this channel art template. Now it's going to obscure my picture in the background, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to come up to this transparency setting and again bring it down to what's comfortable for you, but probably somewhere around 35 or 40 will do it. I'm going to place it in the upper left corner, and now I'm going to stretch it, but I'm going to be careful not to let it meet or exceed the actual size. See, I'm leaving a little space over here. I'm getting it close to full size, but not full size. One disadvantage of Canva is if I make that full size, it's just going to become the image. I'm not going to be able to work with both images. Okay, so once I get it there, I can click on it and use the arrow keys on my keyboard. I'll center it up so that the missing space, the amount that I'm smaller, is kind of equally divided between the two sides. Now, one disadvantage to Canva is that if I want to reposition this image in the back, I'm going to have to, see, this arrange is not going to work for me. I'm going to slide this out of the way. I'm going to grab this thing underneath now and move it up or down, left or right. And I'm going to reposition this. So I actually prefer befunky.com to get the original image size set correctly, but this will work also if you have a little bit of patience. It's not that big a deal. Okay, once that's done, you can do things like using the text. So you'll notice in Canva the text comes in kind of these prepackaged formats. So you've got these fonts, subheadings, etc. You can edit a good deal of this. So let me get something that's bold. And then we'll get in there and we'll add it. Smith School. I can drag this out. It'll become much larger. If I select the text, I can change the text color. We have a a limited palette, but I can change the color. I just deleted the space there so that it wasn't on two lines. But now in order to get this school to fit up there, I can stretch it out, but I'm going to probably have to bring down the font a little bit. I have things like bold and italics and spacing and, etc. So letter spacing, I can increase that and change my line height, etc. So notice that there are several pieces of text in here, so I can work with that separately. Let's bring it down to 16 and see if that works. Let's make it the same gray color. Okay, in this particular case, I'm looking at it, and I think that the contrast between my text and my image in the back is not great enough. So I'm going to slide this off to the side for a second. I'm going to take my image, and again, I can adjust the transparency of this image as well. Probably will change my thoughts on color here. You're always going to have those nice black and white options. Now, because I've already got my positioning set up with this template, I can see the top edges there, so maybe I'll pull this up a little bit. This is probably not a great image. Probably not a great image at all. And, well, let's take the template now. And I'm going to take that template and I'm going to set its transparency to 0. And that's going to show me what the image will actually look like. So it's this middle slice, and I guess that's okay. I think this is a little confusing in here. But you get the idea. Okay, you can add text, upload images, use those in conjunction with the templates to get your design. Now, Canva does have other things. I mean, there are shapes and grids you can pull in, but I haven't found them particularly useful for this particular, project. For other things, they work great. So once you're done, you're just going to say download. You can get it in a PNG format or PDF format or a JPEG format. So the PNG is the recommended format, but for this you might want to try a JPEG. It's not giving me all those nice options as far as compressing it that I had with befunky.com. So let's just try, we'll call this one Channel Art Canva. I do know that the JPEG is likely to be a smaller file size than the PNG, so that's one thing. So let's take a look there and see how that particular image looks. So I'm going to click on a tab, go to YouTube, I'm in my Tools Data channel, so that's fine. I'll just switch to Tools Data. This is the one I made in the other application. So I'm going to come in here and say Channel Art Canva, open. You can again adjust the crop, but you shouldn't need to because we've created something in the correct size. Ooh, here we go. So let's just select that and say select. And you can see not bad. I think working with Canva, in my opinion, is a little more complicated. I kind of like befunky for this particular application. This image, the deficiencies in this image, I think have more to do with my choice of background image than it does with the application. Although I would have gotten a wider range of font options in bCanva, which could have been useful in setting this off. Having that outline could have helped me in this situation. But certainly up to you, whichever tool you want to use, or any other tool that you find. The thing to keep in mind is to get the size of the image right and to get the placement of part of the image correct so that it appears it's a good quality image on computer, phone, tablet, etc.